A lot of people say I look just like my mom, and I am gonna take that as the biggest compliment because the woman is going on 77 and she is still looking pretty hot. So if I look as good as she does at her age, I think I'll be fine. But there are plenty of other things I got from my mom. Here are the top 10 life lessons my mama taught me that I wanted to share with you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am a model, actress, and host. I'm also an entrepreneur and a mother of two. In this channel, I share with you lots of tips and tricks on how to look good, feel great, and just be the best version of you. I wanted to do this video to share with you the top 10 life lessons my mama taught me that pretty much shaped who I am today. It really gave me the outlook that I have on how I do things, how I live life in general, and what are the most important things in my life. First one, my mama taught me how to be independent and not follow the crowd. She couldn't for the life of her understand the concept of screaming over a celebrity or a singer. This was in the 60s, right? So it'd be the Beatles, Elvis, and she would just like look at these groupies that would go to concerts and be like, ah! That was her way of saying, you know, just because everyone else is screaming over someone, or just because everyone else thinks that this is a great idea, you don't necessarily have to do the same, and don't follow the crowd. Don't follow what everyone else is doing. You be you. You make up your own mind, what you like, what you don't like. And that's pretty much stuck with me. Of course, growing up, you're gonna follow your friends, you're gonna follow what the trends are. But as you grow older, knowing what you like and being able to decide for yourself what you like and what you wanna do is something that is important. The second lesson my mama taught me was to take pride in my work. I remember growing up, my mom and dad would throw these big house parties, Christmas, New Year's, and she would love to entertain, and she would take such pride in creating this massive spread of food. And her thing was canapes. She loved canapes, like deviled eggs and canapes with salmon and sauce on it, and like these beautifully rolled ham sticks with the olives and the croutons. And it was just like, it was so much work, but she would take such pride in making each little canapé and deviled egg like perfect. So I really got a sense from her that, you know, if you're gonna do something, take time to do it right, and take pride in whatever it is that you present out there, whether it be a plate of deviled eggs or a presentation. Taking pride in your work shows that you are proud of who you are and that you are proud of what you've created. Lesson number 3. My mama always taught me how to share. In fact, my very first birthday, we had a party at home and she invited the entire Paria orphanage. All the orphans came and celebrated my birthday with me. My cake was basically a giant mountain of donut holes and she stuck a flag on it and a candle. I just remember always being at community events, volunteer events. We would do fundraisers all the time growing up. She always taught me that we are very, very fortunate to have what we have. Because of that, we should share what we have with people who need it more than us. That was like a very fundamental lesson that I grew up with. The concept of sharing or charity doesn't have to be anything gigantic or massive, or you don't have to broadcast it to anybody. Just share what you have at the moment, if you want to, if you can, and see how that makes a difference in someone else's life. Lesson number 4. My mama taught me how to have fun. She loves to have a good time, and that's something that is great because why not? We go out on speedboats all the time. She's out dancing with her friends. Anytime we went to the island, if she saw a bunch of rocks, she'd take off and start climbing those rocks. Anytime she saw a tree, she'd be up that tree. She would be Madame Pattaya driving around on a motorbike, taking me at age 3 probably. No helmet. I mean, back then it was a very different time. You can't really fault me for breaking the rules sometimes because I got it from you. Lesson number 5 my mama taught me is to read. Growing up would be, starting from Enid Blyton, all the Nancy Drew series. Then I went through a Stephen King phase, and then John Grisham, and we would share books back and forth. There's a quote, I think it's Sir Richard Steele. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. One of the keys to lifelong learning and self-development is to read. And there are so many books out there that you can be, exercising your mind a little bit every day. Life lesson number 6. My mama taught me not to waste. To the point where she doesn't throw anything out, which drives me crazy sometimes because she's a little bit of a pack rat mama. She doesn't waste money on frivolous things. So growing up, I didn't get all the fancy toys. She would get me very practical gifts. Very practical gifts like socks and books. Books were good. But sometimes I just wanted a My Little Pony, Mom. And she wouldn't be so quick to go out and buy, a costume or something if I needed it for Halloween. We'd come up with our own costumes. And that's why I became creative. We would have a lot of fun thinking of how we could just find things around the house to make costumes. And I've carried that on with my kids. I always have like a big box where I keep all the toilet paper rolls and the little packages and things like that, or scraps of ribbon and whatever miscellaneous stuff goes all in this box. We have all these things that we can create, and it's actually a lot of fun, and it teaches you how to appreciate things. It teaches you not to just throw stuff out when it breaks, and especially in this day and age when we should be reducing our amount of waste. No plastic bags, no plastic straws, recycle, reduce, reuse, all that good stuff. My mama was doing it before it became trendy. The next thing my mama taught me was to be a feminist. If there were ever a feminist, it's my mama. And I don't think she even realized she did it. I think she was just oozing out of her pores. But from as long as I can remember, my mama always taught me that there's nothing I couldn't do. That just because I was a girl doesn't mean that I can't be all that I can be and have the same equal opportunities and successes that a man should have. And there was never any kind of mention in our family about, oh, don't do that, you're a girl, or at all. Again, I don't think she consciously set out to instill these women empowerment ideals and values in me, but she did. And that's probably why I'm so passionate about it today. One of the most important things for me as a mother is to be able to instill these same values of gender equality and of respect and responsibility in both of them, regardless of gender. Because at the end of the day, women's rights are human rights, and you should be able to enjoy the same rights to safety and freedom and success and opportunity and education, regardless of race, of religion, of gender. Lesson number 8. My mom would always take pride in her appearance. Just as she would take pride in making deviled eggs, she also took pride in how she looked. And I think that's something that most women do already naturally, but there was one extra step that she would teach me, and that is take pride in your appearance, but don't be vain. And that's a very important distinction to have. It's one thing to want to look good and put forward the best version of you, whether it's through makeup or hair or clothes, but don't be vain. It means don't get too overly caught up in how you look and what you look like. One of the things looking back, I noticed that my mom would be so effortlessly chic and stylish. I mean, rummaging through old photographs, I found pictures of her as a bikini model, and she looked amazing. There was still a very down-to-earth quality about her. She was always very approachable, and she just looked like somebody you wanted to hang out with. And that's something I think as women, it's more important to about what you have behind all the makeup and who you are as a person. Take pride in your appearance, but also don't think about it too much. Lesson number 9. My mom also taught me that nothing in life comes free. And if somebody gives you an expensive gift, even if they say they don't want anything in return, they are lying. I mean, she was very strict about it, to the point where she would make me return gifts from guys. Oh, there was one guy, I forget how old I was, but I wasn't old enough to be accepting such an expensive gift. And she took one look at it and said, go give it back. I was like, but mom. She's like, no, go give it back. You're too young to be receiving that. And 2, nothing in life comes free. And even if he says he doesn't want anything in return, there's an unspoken expectation that could cause issues later on. And you know, when you're of the right age and when you're responsible and old enough and mature enough to make your own decision, then maybe you can decide, but take it back. You don't want to have to owe anybody anything, you know? You want to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and live life on your own terms. And having something hanging over your head or being indebted to somebody just because they're of a position that they can more than you, I think it just creates unnecessary stress and tension and limits your own potential. Nothing in life ever comes free. And if you want something, you go out there, you work your ass off, and you appreciate what you get on your own terms. And lesson number 10, the last lesson and most important lesson my mama taught me was how to be a mom. And she'll be the first one to tell you she had no idea what she was doing. What mom does until they become a mom and they have to do it themselves. Because there's no written manual, there's no magic formula that gets passed on generation to generation. In fact, the rules get rewritten with every new baby that's born and every new mother that becomes one. But it's because of her unconditional love, of her patience. Well, sometimes. Actually, scratch that. She doesn't have that much patience. Just like me. I got that from my mama. But it's the fact that she's, throughout my entire life, looking back on every moment, on every most memorable moment in my life, I can close my eyes and she's right there. She's right there. Whether it be a good memory, whether it be a bad memory, whatever, doesn't matter. The fact is, she was right there every single step of the way. And so just wanted to share these 10 life lessons that this incredible woman has taught me and has given me and continues to give me every day. I just wanted to share those with you. So if you like this video, make sure you hit subscribe and also the bell notification so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Thanks guys for watching. Until next time.